Have you ever sat alone in your home and wondered, is this what the rest of life will feel like? Quiet, slow, maybe even forgotten. The rooms that once echoed with laughter now carry silence. The calendar isn't as full. The phone doesn't ring like it used to. And somewhere deep inside you begin to ask, do I still matter? Is there still something left for me to do or to feel? If you've ever asked those questions, this video is for you. Because life after 70 isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of a different kind of chapter, one with more space, more softness, more truth. You see, the world might not talk about it often, but there is a quiet kind of strength, elderly wisdom that lives inside you now. The kind that isn't loud but unshakable, not rushed but deeply rooted in everything you've lived through. And in this chapter, your senior health isn't just about pills and appointments. It's about rediscovering what makes your heart feel full again. It's about choosing presence over pressure, peace over noise. It's about learning how to live, not just exist, on your own terms. This video will walk you through 14 soul-nourishing truths, simple but powerful healthy aging tips to help you reclaim joy, rebuild rhythm, and remember that loneliness in seniors doesn't have to be permanent because you're still here. Your breath still moves, and that means life, real life, is still available to you. So stay with us. Let this be the moment you come home, not just to your house, but to yourself. 1. Embrace the silence. Accept the shift. There comes a point in life after 70 when the world around you begins to quiet down. The phone rings less, the house feels bigger, the silence lingers longer. What once felt like peace can suddenly feel like absence. You're not alone in that feeling. It's the hidden weight of loneliness in seniors. This is a season of change. Your daily rhythm shifts. The people you used to care for now have lives of their own. Friends have moved. Some are no longer here, and you're left facing something that no one truly prepared you for. Time and space that feel unfamiliar. But here's a truth many overlook. Elderly wisdom is often born in moments just like this. Wisdom that says, this isn't the end of your story. This is the beginning of a new chapter. Quieter, yes, but also clearer. The silence isn't here to punish you. It's here to teach you how to hear yourself again. Instead of resisting it, accept the shift. Sit with it, observe it. Let the quiet become a place of reflection, not regret. Let it hold your memories without drowning in them. Let it offer you clarity, peace, and stillness, not as something missing, but as something meaningful. Senior health isn't just physical, it's emotional resilience. And one of the most important healthy aging tips is learning to adapt when life changes form. To understand that stillness doesn't mean life has stopped. It means life is inviting you inward. This chapter may have fewer voices, but it holds more depth. And in that depth, you'll rediscover your strength, not in noise, but in quiet. You haven't been left behind. You've simply been given space to become more fully yourself. 2. Create daily structure. Find your rhythm. Again, one of the quietest dangers in life after 70 isn't illness or isolation. It's the slow unraveling of your day. You wake up whenever. Meals blur together. Hours stretch with nothing urgent to do. And before you know it, you've gone a whole week without stepping outside, without purpose, without direction. It sounds simple, but structure is powerful. When you were younger, your days had shape. School drop-offs, work schedules, family dinners. But now that structure is gone. And without it, motivation begins to fade. Energy dips, mood follows. This is where elderly wisdom steps in, not as a lecture, but as a quiet nudge. Give your day a rhythm again. It doesn't have to be rigid. Just enough to anchor you. Wake up at the same time. Make your bed. Start with something small, a cup of tea by the window, a 5-minute stretch. These moments may seem minor, but they set your tone. They say, I'm still showing up. Plan. One meaningful activity for each part of the day. Morning could be watering plants. Afternoon might be calling a friend. Evening could be journaling or reading something that lifts your spirit. This kind of routine isn't about keeping busy. It's about building a life that still feels alive. Structure supports senior health by keeping the mind active, the body engaged, and the heart grounded. Healthy aging tips often focus on diet and exercise, and those are important. But structure is just as vital. It gives your life shape again. It reminds you that your time still matters, and when the days no longer drift, when you wake with intention and sleep with a sense of peace, that's when the quiet starts to feel comforting again. That's when purpose returns. Even in the stillness, you can move forward, one simple routine at a time, one act of care each day. You don't need a full calendar. You just need a reason to begin again tomorrow. 3. Refresh your space, revive your spirit. Take a look around your home. The furniture hasn't moved in years. Papers stack quietly on the table. Rooms once filled with laughter now sit untouched, waiting. It happens slowly, one forgotten corner at a time. But your environment matters more than you think, especially in life after 70. The space you live in shapes how you feel. And when that space becomes stagnant, so can your spirit. Clutter isn't just physical, it's emotional. It quietly drains your energy, your mood, your sense of control. And yet here's the beauty of this moment. You have the power to shift it. One small change at a time. Elderly wisdom knows you don't need to renovate the whole house. Start with one drawer, one window, one dusty shelf. Let in the light. Open a curtain. Bring in a plant. Play a song you love. Hang up a photo that reminds you of joy. Not just the past, but the feeling. As you begin to refresh your space, something deeper happens. You begin to feel alive again. Your surroundings reflect how much you care about yourself. So treat your home not as a leftover from the past, but as a partner in your present. This is one of the most overlooked healthy aging tips. Your environment can either weigh you down or lift you up. And for better senior health, you need surroundings that nourish, not drain you. Don't wait for visitors to make your space beautiful. Make it beautiful for you, because you're still here. You're still worthy of comfort, color, warmth. Light. A candle at night. Place flowers near your bed. Rearrange a chair to face the morning sun. These are not small gestures. They're signs that you still choose to care, that you're not fading, you're evolving. Your home doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to feel like a place where you matter, and when your space feels alive, so will you. 4. Move your body. Reclaim your energy. You sit to watch the news, you sit to eat, you sit to think. And after a while, your body starts to forget what it means to move. This is one of the quiet risks of life after 70. Without meaning to, stillness becomes your default. Days pass in the same chair. But here's the truth. Movement is not just for the young, it's for the living. No matter your age, your body still remembers. It still responds. And even the smallest motion can wake it back up. Stretch your arms. Before getting out of bed, walk to the mailbox. Sway to your favorite song in the kitchen. You don't need a gym or a routine. You just need to move. Because movement isn't about fitness, it's about freedom. It boosts your circulation, sharpens your mind, lifts your mood. This is where senior health truly begins. In honoring your body, not for how fast it moves, but that it still can. Elderly wisdom reminds us that stillness can be healing, but too much stillness becomes a trap. Motion, even gentle motion, tells your brain, I'm still here, I'm still active, I still matter. One of the most powerful healthy aging tips is to treat your body like a partner, not a burden. You've lived in it for decades. You've carried children, lifted burdens, walked through storms. Now it's time to move with gratitude. Set a small goal today, walk to the window. Stand while you sip your tea. March in place during commercials. It doesn't have to be impressive, it just has to be yours, because when you move, something inside you wakes up. And that energy, that rhythm, it feeds your confidence, your clarity, your joy. So move not to chase youth, but to claim presence. Not to erase age, but to celebrate life. Your body still belongs to you. And every gentle motion is a reminder that you're not done yet. You're still dancing through life, one step at a time. 5. Reach out. First, rebuild connection. One of the hardest parts of life after 70 isn't the silence. It's the feeling that no one sees you anymore. The days go by and the phone doesn't ring. Messages are fewer. The doorbell stays quiet. Loneliness. in seniors often isn't about being physically alone. It's about feeling forgotten, like the world has moved on and left you behind. But here's the truth. Most people aren't ignoring you. They simply don't realize how much you'd love to hear from them. And this is where elderly wisdom shines. It reminds you that connection doesn't always come knocking. You sometimes have to open the door yourself. Call that friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Say hello to your neighbor. Write a simple letter. Join a local group or an online community. It might feel awkward at first, but one hello can open a world of warmth. Connection doesn't have to be big to be real. A shared cup of tea, a short walk with someone you trust, even a genuine conversation with the cashier at your local store can brighten your day, and theirs. Senior health isn't only about medication and meals. It's about being seen, heard, and valued. One of the most life-giving healthy aging tips is this: never stop making friends. You are not too old. It is not too late. There are people out there who would feel blessed just to talk with you, but someone has to go first. Let it be you. Reaching out is not a sign of weakness. It's an act of courage, an act of hope, a reminder to the world and to yourself that your voice still matters. You don't need a crowd. You just need connection. Start small. Start today. You are never too far from belonging. 6. Tell your story. Let your voice be heard. When the house is quiet and no one else is around, your thoughts have nowhere to go. They swirl in your mind, memories, feelings, questions, and fade into silence. But silence doesn't mean those thoughts are unimportant. It just means they're waiting to be expressed. One of the most powerful forms of elderly wisdom is your story. You've lived through love, loss, laughter, and change. You've seen the world transform in ways younger generations can't imagine. And all of that experience, every lesson, every scar, is worth remembering. Start simple. Write down one memory each day, not for anyone else, not for an audience, just for you. It could be the smell of your mother's kitchen, the moment you held your child for the first time, the day you made a hard decision and stood by it. These are pieces of who you are, and writing them down is a way of honoring your journey. Life after 70 is the perfect time to reflect, not with regret, but with reverence. Your voice still matters. Record it. Speak into your phone. Write in a journal. Paint it. Sing it. Whisper it. Whatever feels right, just let it out, because expression is healing. It gives your heart a place to rest, and your memories a place to live beyond the moment. This is more than nostalgia. It's healthy aging in action. Creativity, reflection, and emotional release are all part of senior health. In fact, one of the most overlooked healthy aging tips is the simple act of telling your story. You never know who might be comforted by your words someday, but even if no one else reads them, you will. And in doing so, you'll remind yourself that your life has always had meaning, and still does. You are not just aging, you are archiving, and every sentence you share is proof you were here and your life mattered. 7. Be kind to yourself. Change the voice. Within, there's a voice that follows you everywhere, not from outside, but from within. And for many in life after 70, that voice grows sharper. It whispers regrets. It echoes doubts. It says things like, "I'm not needed anymore. I've wasted too much time. I'm just a burden now." But here's what elderly wisdom knows deeply. That voice is not always telling the truth. It's shaped by old wounds, loss, comparison, and fear. And the older we get, the louder it sometimes becomes, especially when life slows down. But you have the power to change that voice, not by silencing it, but by speaking back with kindness. Start noticing when you're being hard on yourself. Catch the moment you think, "I'm useless." Then gently, intentionally replace it with truth. "I'm still here. I matter." My story isn't over. Senior health includes mental and emotional care. And one of the most underrated healthy aging tips is to build a softer, wiser relationship with yourself. You've spent decades caring for others. Now it's time to care for the person you've always been, inside. The version of you who tried hard, who loved deeply, who made mistakes, yes, but also showed up, survived, and grew. You deserve compassion, not criticism. gentleness, not judgment. This inner kindness is not fluff, it's fuel. It helps you rise on the hard days, rest on the quiet ones, and keep going when no one else is watching. So speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you love, with patience, with grace, with hope. Because no matter your age, the words you tell yourself still shape your life, and you still have time to choose better ones starting now. Let the voice inside remind you of what's true. You are worthy. You are enough. You are still becoming. Hate, care for something, feel life. Again, when life slows down and the days feel quiet, it's easy to forget how much joy comes from simply caring. In life after 70, many of the roles you once held, parent, provider, caregiver, have changed or faded. And without someone or something to care for, your days can start to feel weightless. Not peaceful, just empty. But here's where elderly wisdom gently steps in to remind you. You don't need something big to feel needed. You just need something real. A potted plant on your windowsill. A cat who curls up next to you each morning. A tomato vine you water every afternoon. Even checking in on a neighbor or feeding birds in your yard. These small acts of care ground you. They give your hands a purpose and your heart a reason to keep opening. Caring for something outside yourself is one of the most overlooked healthy aging tips. It creates rhythm. It invites joy. It reminds you that you still have something to give and something to receive, and the benefits are real. From lowering stress to improving mood, caring activates something vital within. It speaks directly to senior health, not just in body, but in spirit. You don't need to raise a family or manage a household to be important. You only need to nurture what's in front of you today. When you water a flower and see it bloom, it reflects something inside you that's also blooming. When a pet leans into your touch, it reminds you that your presence still holds comfort and safety. This is not about staying busy. It's about staying connected to life, to meaning, to love in its quietest forms. So ask yourself, gently, what small thing could I care for today? Because when you care for something, it responds. And in that response, you feel alive again, not just existing, but belonging, still giving, still growing. 9. Create something. Reconnect with your inner beauty. When life becomes quiet, the mind often fills the space with old thoughts, worries, memories, unanswered questions. It replays past mistakes, lost moments, things you can't change. And in life after 70, when there's more time and fewer distractions, those loops can grow louder. But here's a gentle truth. Creation breaks the loop. And elderly wisdom knows that creativity isn't about talent. It's about expression. You don't need to be an artist. You just need to make something with your hands, your voice, your time. Bake a cake, knit a scarf, write a short poem, paint with your fingers, plant herbs and watch them grow. Rearrange the furniture with care. These small acts bring your invisible self into the visible world. They remind you, there's still beauty inside me. There's still something I can shape. Healthy aging isn't only about walking steps and taking vitamins. It's also about giving your emotions a place to go. That's what creativity does. It moves what's stuck. It turns silence into color, memory into meaning, loneliness into light. Senior health improves when the spirit is engaged, when the hands feel useful, when the mind explores freely. Studies show that creativity enhances mood, cognitive strength, and even physical well-being. But more than that, it gives you joy, it gives you voice. One of the most meaningful healthy aging tips is simply this. Make something that didn't exist yesterday. It doesn't have to be perfect. It only needs to be yours. Hang your drawing on the fridge. Read your poem out loud, even if only to yourself. Sew a button and admire the care it took. These aren't small acts, they're declarations. I'm still here, I'm still creating, I am still me. So don't wait for inspiration. Let your fingers lead. Let your spirit wander, because every time you create, you reconnect with the beauty that's never left you, and that, dear one, is where life begins again. 10. Invite laughter back in. You still deserve joy. There's a moment somewhere in life after 70 when laughter starts to fade. You don't mean to stop laughing, it just happens. The house is quieter, the conversations fewer, and suddenly, laughter. feels like something that belongs to a different time. But here's what elderly wisdom knows better than most. Laughter is not just a reaction, it's a form of resilience. It doesn't erase sorrow, but it softens it. It lifts the weight of the day, even if only for a few seconds. Healthy aging is not only about medicine, meals, and movement. It's also about the little sparks of joy that keep your spirit light. Laughter is one of the simplest, most powerful healthy aging tips, and it's completely free. You don't need an audience, you don't need a reason. Put on a silly movie. Read a comic strip. Call that one friend who always makes you smile. Even a chuckle in the kitchen while remembering something ridiculous from years ago is enough. Because joy doesn't ask for perfection, it just asks to be allowed in. And when you laugh, even alone, you tell the world and yourself, I still feel, I still love, I still live. Senior health improves with joy. Laughter lowers blood pressure, eases tension, and helps your body release what it's been quietly holding. But more than that, it reconnects you with the lightness you thought was lost. You've carried so much. You've endured. You've earned the right to laugh freely even if no one else is in the room. So don't silence your joy just because the room is quiet. Let it echo through the halls. Let it rise like sunlight through the window. Laughter is your birthright, not a luxury of youth. And today, even now, you are still allowed to feel light, still invited to smile, still completely, fully worthy of joy. 11. Face the grief honor. What was lost in life after 70, grief has a way of arriving unannounced. It doesn't always shout, it whispers. It hides in the scent of an old recipe, in a song from long ago, in a photo you forgot you had tucked away. Suddenly the loss feels fresh again. The room feels colder, the silence heavier. This is part of growing older that no one fully prepares you for, grieving not just people but chapters, roles, and entire versions of yourself. But here's the truth. Elderly wisdom teaches gently. Grief isn't something to fix, it's something to feel. You've loved deeply, and because of that you will miss deeply too. Let yourself cry. Let the tears come when they need to. This is not weakness, it's remembrance. It's your way of saying, me too, what I had mattered, who I lost mattered. You've earned the right to feel, but also the right to heal. Don't rush it, don't hide from it. But when the tears slow, take one small step toward light. Light a candle, say their name out loud, take a walk and breathe deeply. Do something not to forget them, but to carry them with love, not pain. Grief may never leave completely, but it doesn't need to be the only presence in the room. Let joy sit beside it. Let peace walk alongside it. This is healthy aging too, making room for all of life's colors, even the darker ones. Senior health includes the heart, and the heart needs space to mourn and to mend. One of the most profound healthy aging tips is this. Honor your memories, but don't become trapped inside them. You're still here. And every day you live, you carry forward the legacy of the ones you loved. Not by holding on to sorrow, but by living in a way that says, because they mattered, I choose to live fully. Your grief is a sign of love. And love, even after loss, is still a reason to begin again. 12. Give to feel alive again. You still have so much to offer. After the noise fades and the house quiets down, it's easy to wonder if you still have something to offer. No workplace to report to, no young children to care for. Just time and a creeping question, do I still matter? The answer, spoken with elderly wisdom, is yes, not because of what you produce, but because of what still lives in you. Compassion, experience, patience, presence. In life after 70, giving doesn't have to be grand. It only has to be real. Read a story to a child at the library. Cook a warm meal for a neighbor who's having a hard week. Call someone who lives alone and ask how they're doing. Even a handwritten note or a smile at the market can change someone's day, and yours, because when you give, you feel needed again. And that feeling awakens something powerful inside. Healthy aging isn't just about your body. It's about your purpose. And purpose comes alive through generosity, through action, through connection. One of the simplest healthy aging tips is this. Give something of yourself, no matter how small. Your kindness is still needed. Your wisdom still holds weight. Your story may be quiet, but its impact can echo in someone else's life. Senior health improves when we feel connected, when we feel valuable, when we know we still make a difference, even in the smallest of ways. Don't believe the lie that your giving years are behind you. They may just be entering a softer, deeper phase, because what you offer now isn't bound by job titles or responsibilities. It's wrapped in grace. It's rooted in experience. It's the kind of giving that changes lives gently, one small act at a time. So ask yourself today, what can I give? Freely, lovingly, quietly. Because giving isn't about having much. It's about remembering that you are still more than enough, and the world is quietly waiting for your light. 13. Know when to ask for help. It's not weakness, it's strength. You've spent a lifetime being strong, providing, protecting, pushing through. But in life after 70, strength takes on a new form, one that's quieter, gentler, but just as powerful. Sometimes strength means knowing when you can't do it all alone. It means saying the words, "I need help." Elderly wisdom understands that asking for support isn't failure, it's courage. And it's one of the most important truths you can embrace as you grow older. You may be facing physical changes, emotional lows, or even financial challenges. But here's the truth. No one expects you to carry everything by yourself. And more importantly, you don't have to. Reach out to your doctor if your body is sending signals. Call a friend or neighbor if the loneliness gets heavy. Let your family know if something doesn't feel right. Whether it's about health, finances, or just needing company, speak up. This is not a burden. This is a basic part of senior health and healthy aging. Isolation and silent suffering help no one. Connection and support change everything. One of the most valuable healthy aging tips is to stop equating independence with isolation. You can be independent and still lean on others. In fact, true independence often means building a support circle that keeps you safe, strong, and whole. You spent decades helping others. Now let them return the favor. Let the kindness flow both ways. You are not less capable because you need help. You are wise enough to recognize what your body and heart truly need. So ask, not with shame, but with self-respect. Because recognizing your limits isn't weakness. It's wisdom in its most honest form. You are still strong, and knowing when to reach out might be the bravest thing you do today. 14. Keep dreaming. It's not too late for joy. Somewhere along the path of life after 70, people stop asking you what your dreams are, as if dreaming belongs only to the young, as if new beginnings expire with time. But elderly wisdom knows, as long as you're alive, there's still more to see, to feel, to become. Your dreams may not look like they once did. They may be softer now, less about achievement, more about meaning. But they're no less real. You might dream of learning to paint, joining a choir, or planting a garden that blooms in spring. Maybe it's traveling to a place you've always wondered about, even if it's just a short train ride away. Or maybe it's simply dreaming of waking up tomorrow with a heart that feels full again. Healthy aging means more than maintaining your body. It means nourishing your spirit with curiosity, with purpose, with wonder. One of the most overlooked healthy aging tips is to keep something ahead of you, something to look forward to. You're not too old. You're not too late. There is no expiration date on hope. The world still holds moments you haven't lived yet, a new friend you haven't met, a song you haven't heard, a skill you didn't know you could learn. Senior health thrives on engagement, not just physically but mentally and emotionally, and nothing keeps the soul engaged like a dream waiting to unfold. So take a moment. Close your eyes. Picture something you'd still love to do, not because you have to, but because it makes your heart stir. Then take one small step, just one, because movement toward a dream, no matter how slow, is still forward motion, and it's proof that life still pulses within you. Your story is not finished. It's simply turning a new page. And on that page, joy still has room to grow. So dream, dear soul. Dream boldly, dream gently, but above all, keep dreaming. If you've made it this far, take a deep breath and know this. You are not just passing time, you are still living time. One quiet hour, one brave thought, one gentle act at a time. Life after 70 is not a closing act. It's a softer chapter. Yes, but one filled with space for reflection, growth, and rediscovery. There may be fewer voices around you now, but yours still matters. There may be more silence, but within that silence lives something sacred, elderly wisdom. The kind of wisdom that knows when to let go, when to reach out, when to begin again. You have faced change. You've met grief and still stood tall. You've learned how to sit with the quiet, how to soften your inner voice, how to move, give, laugh, remember, and keep dreaming. This is healthy aging in its purest form, not just surviving, but choosing to live well from the inside out, not by trying to be who you were, but by honoring who you are now. Senior health is about more than blood pressure and medication. It's about purpose. It's about connection. It's about waking up and asking, what can I do today to feel alive? Maybe it's calling someone. Maybe it's watering a plant. Maybe it's sitting in the sunlight with a cup of tea and remembering that you are still allowed to feel joy. You are not invisible. You are not too late. You are still becoming. So go gently, but go forward. Carry your stories, your scars, your strength with grace. And above all, remember, this season of life still belongs to you. You've got this, and we believe in you.